We train them, develop them. And every week when you come to training, we will have the top producers, the best trainers come up and tell you exactly what they're doing, what they're saying. And then all you have to do is say the words. And in the beginning, what happens is you're trying to focus on saying the words, and that's all you're thinking about. And eventually it becomes reflexive to the point to where the words are coming out because it's all memorized. And now you can focus on other things like reading the client, reading the room, reading the situation, and putting out a different type of energy versus a nervous energy, or putting out a confident energy, right? If I could learn how to do the presentation, if I could get in the field in front of clients at the age of 22, as nervous as I was, as introverted as I was, as little experience as I had, as scared as I was, right? With as little market as I had, trust me, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it, right? Another great thing about Primerica is that we are a company that focuses on middle income clients, right? And in the financial world, sometimes people think that that sounds bad, right? But that's not something that we shy away from. Amazon focuses on the masses. Walmart focuses on the masses. McDonald's focuses on the masses. These are some of the most successful businesses in the world. And they're way bigger than the companies who focus on just the top 5%. So Primerica takes that approach. Do we have wealthy clients? We get a ton in the process. It's just not our focus. So one of the things that I tell people when they start that have no experience, I say, listen, we're not sitting down with multimillionaires right away. We're sitting down with the average and ordinary person that's usually undereducated when it comes to their financial planning, their future, their benefits, investments, insurance, things like that. If they have ever met with anyone in their life, usually they've been misled. So the type of situation that's going on is 95% of people are so undereducated when it comes to their financial plan that if you come to training a few months, right, you are going to know more than most, because most people know what? How much do they know? Nothing, little, right? So we can know more than most very, very quickly. And that's called a value gap. You don't have to know as much as me. I have 18 years experience, and my gap between me and the average client that I sit with is large, right? Because I built my own net worth, right? So I can posture myself a different way. And then I have a lot of experience. I've been through market downturns. I've seen people's policies come into fruition, the wrong kinds, the good kinds, the bad kinds, right? I've seen people through their retirement. They've passed away. I've seen people get started with retirement and then retire, literally in my 18-year career. That's a lot of experience. But I wasn't struggling in the beginning without that experience because I just had to know more than the person that was sitting in front of me. We always have to remember that. You don't have to sound like me in the beginning. You just have to know more than the person sitting in front of you. And thank God we're in a business where 90% of people don't know anything. So it's very quickly you can create that gap. And thank God also that we're doing ethical work and we're not sitting down with people that don't know anything and then taking advantage of them like other financial companies, right? So today what we're going to be talking about is this skill that we call field training. And this is what everybody needs to aspire to become, is a field trainer. Eventually, like in the beginning, you're a soloist. You're out there and you've just learned how to change someone's oil and you're just changing oil, right? And eventually someone's going to watch you change oil, or someone's going to watch you cut grass, or someone's going to watch you make the pizzas, or someone's going to watch you close a real estate transaction. Every business is the same, right? First, you start out learning how to do it on your own. You're a soloist, but eventually you get into the business where you are teaching other people how to do it. And typically when we are teaching other people how to do things, we're doing it for another company, right? So our manager says at a job, hey, Bao, you're really good at what you do. New hires that come on board, we're going to have you involved in that onboarding process. We want them to teach you. We want you to teach them how everything works. We want them to basically become you. So here we do that in our own business, right? Because I want to be in more places at one time. That is the issue with most people. Money in America is not the issue as much anymore compared to other countries. It's time, because we have to do the work. We have to work the 40 hours. We have to physically be there. But if we can duplicate ourselves over and over and over again, right? Now I can be in many places at one time. And as I always say, the real me can be in Hawaii while everybody else is what? A field trainer. Experience. And experience means bad and good. This is what people forget. See, I'm training one of my friends. He's in my circle, and he decided, okay, I'm going to join the business, and he's taking the test on Monday. So I said, hey, you're going to pass. I know you are. We got to have a bunch of appointments lined up, because when your license gets processed, which is 10 days after you pass the test, I want that day for us to put in 10 sales. So you better line it up right now. And he's telling me, right, because this is natural, he's saying, okay, when I set up appointments, I'm looking for people, literally he said this, he goes, I'm looking for people first that are a preferred rating. So he's looking for people with perfect health, not just like that'll get approved, perfect health. This is how new people think, right? I'm looking for someone who, what are some of the things that he said? People that are really, well off, right? People that I know that are going to be receptive, people this, people that. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to bat 100. It doesn't work that way, right? What I told him was, look, man, I want you to set appointments with everyone that's qualified, which is a different training, right? Married, kids, homeowner. I want you to set appointments with everyone that's qualified, because even if they're not interested, I need you to see that. What's your name, ma'am?
Kim.
Kim? I need Kim to see people say no. I need Kim to see people say yes, and then when we come back and meet with them, then they say no. I need people to sometimes cancel their policy, right? Because the less you are going to get caught off guard, the more experience you are going to have. Does that make sense? So we're looking, if you want to be well-rounded, if you want to be a good trainer, then you need a lot of experience. What I was told and what I did was go on 50 appointments. I know it sounds like a lot, but I've done this many times in my career, where I got a new sheet of paper and I lined it up front and back from 1 to 50, and I said, I'm going to do 50 again. And then you go out and you 50 appointments, and some are unqualified and a lot of them are qualified, and some say no and some say yeah. And this is an awesome thing, because you can track how much production you got, how many people you recruited, how much you got in investment volume, how much money you made off of that 50. Isn't that a better approach than just saying, I'm going to try to do my best?
Yeah.
That's not how winners talk. That's not how winners think. Nobody says that. You can't speak to yourself with that kind of ambiguity. You have to be more specific. So we tell people, hey, you want to be good in the field? Get on 50 appointments. With who? That's the $1 million question. If we knew that, we'd all be billionaires. Everybody's asking that question. The person at the car dealership is asking that question. The person at the real estate brokerage is asking that question. The person definitely right now at the mortgage brokerage is asking that question. Right? Nothing will surprise you when you have a lot of experience. People get worried about taking me in the field sometimes because they don't want to be embarrassed by, it used to be they were worried I was going to embarrass them to their friends and family. Now they're worried that their friends and family are going to embarrass themselves to me, right? And I tell people, like, dude, there's nothing I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I've seen it all. Wife gets mad at husband, husband starts yelling at wife, someone drank a little bit too much wine by the end of the appointment, emergencies right there. People, there's nothing I haven't seen. Kids, dogs. One time the dog was literally right here the entire time under the table while I'm trying to do an appointment. Right? There's nothing that I'm going to see or hear or that over 18 years I haven't seen. That's what you want. Because where does the fear come in with doing anything? It's the uncertainty. It's the unknown. Oh, what if, right? So we want that experience. So what are the advantages of being a trainer? Number one, you never have a shortage of appointments. One of my mentors, he said, no one ever quit when they had an unlimited amount of appointments to go on, right? So if you become a field trainer, everybody wants to go out in the field with you because they know what? You're going to get what? Results. Someone may say, oh man, my uncle, no one can convince him. I want you to come. Now, that's not the appointment I want. I like to lay down sales. I like that. I don't always want a challenge. When I'm in it, I can handle it and I'm going to give it my all, right? But that's when I hear that, I know that I'm a good trainer. Because people want to see how I perform in certain situations. So when you are a great field trainer and you have a team versus people being apprehensive about taking you in the field, they get excited about taking you in the field. So with this new guy that I'm training, he said, yeah, but everyone, I work for the government, everyone already has insurance. And I say, you're in front of a computer? Look at this, look at this, look at this. He goes, I cannot believe this. I've worked here for 10 years. I didn't know this. Everybody has to know this. Now he wants to take me to more people. Oh, our TSP, our investments. Pull up your computer. Boom, boom, boom. Are you kidding me? I can't believe it. Right? These are your investments. This is what's offered in the on the private market for investments. Right? Can't believe it. So they start to introduce you to more people, and then you get the best appointments. So if I'm training, these 5 people up here, then I'm going to say, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Single person, no kids, no this and that, married kids homeowner. I'm going to take you on an appointment. I get to decide how I want to spend my time. I'm going to go into the highest probability situations. Now, all those clients are going to get help. Don't get me wrong, but I might just make you go on your own because that might be good practice. If you're going to become independent and you're going to get practice, it's better with the unqualified appointment than the qualified appointment, right? So I have a high closing ratio because I look at the appointments that I have and I determine which ones are worth my time and which ones I want to go on. That has nothing to do with someone's assets. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say, do they have 100 grand, 200 grand? I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying I want them to be in need of what we're actually offering. That's what I mean by probability. I get to work with the best people. You are going to, if you become a great field trainer, you're going to win everything. I was showing my new guy, right? I was like, he goes, oh, why are you going to Colorado? The company's paying. Oh, by the way, now we are competing to go to Baja Mar. By the way, in February, they just took us to Maui, right? And if you become a great field trainer, there's no way you are not going to do the production required in winning these trips. If you're not winning the trips, chances are you are lonely in this business. You don't want to be lonely in the business. There's, what do they say in anything, right? They say strength in numbers. That applies mostly in Primerica. It's strength in numbers. If I have a team of young, unqualified, underexperienced agents, but I have 50 of them, we are going to outproduce you even if you have a Harvard degree in finance or whatever, or you came from investment banking. It doesn't matter. My 50 are going to beat your 1 or 2, right? And so if you become a great field trainer, what's going to happen is as you recruit people, the better you are, the better they're going to be. You look at Sheila, right? She's the top producer. I mean, I trained her. I get to say that. because week after week, she's the top producer. She made 100,000 basically part-time. She made 80,000 on a division contract, and she deserves all the credit, but that also, you know, it's always going to be there. Samir was the one who trained her. And I deserve that credit because I worked hard on myself and I worked hard in training her in the field. So imagine if you have 10 people like her, you're retired, right? Like a good retirement, not like $4,000 a month. People work for the government 30 years, your pension is 4 or 5, right? Not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's different. So the question is, are you good enough to copy? Many of us, not yet, but 100% you can become good enough. That's what we want. You got to be somebody worth duplicating. People say, oh, I don't have a team. I don't have a team. Yeah, but what if you had a bunch of people just like you? They're not going to be like me right away, right? You have to, you recruit who you are. You attract what you are. That's why I got to get better so I can attract better people. The type of people I recruit now, I wouldn't have been able to recruit 12 years ago or 18 years ago. As I get better, my recruits get better, right? And duplication is the name of the game. A lot of us are working with new hires at our job, and the company keeps getting us to do it. Nothing wrong with that, but we just don't get any benefit from that. Here, you get to hire people on your team, you get to duplicate, and everything that they do, it's a profit sharing program, you're going to benefit, okay? So as I wrap this up, the reason I wanted to go over this was because we have one of the best field trainers that's coming up right now, right? Because she knows the presentation, you know, her and Jen, in my opinion, the best. These guys, and the reason why is not because they have some innate talent, it's because they've gone on the most appointments. So this is a learning experience for me. Obviously, we're going to record it. And if you want to know, see, a lot of us don't have the opportunity to go on, like me, right? If I look around the room, 90% of you guys have never been on an appointment with me and probably won't go on one. So unless I do like a role play up here, you're not going to know what it's like to go on an appointment with me. And you're not going to know what it's like to go on an appointment with Shondell or Jen. So we do these things so you can say, oh, that's how she does it. That's what she said. That's what she goes over, right? That's what she emphasizes. That's how she says it. That's what we're here for today. So great job, Shondell, and you've had an awesome year so far. And this is really one of your strengths. So give it up for Shondell.